Well, Team Liquid is going to Worlds after their victory against TSM just now. Of course, this coverage is brought to you by Alienware, but I'm joined right now by CoreJJ himself following that matchup. So, Core, before this match, a lot of people said it could go either way. A lot of people predicted it was going to be pretty even.
Hmm.
Sven, I did an interview with him just recently, and he said that, but it didn't. It didn't really feel like it was very even. Obviously, you guys dropped the one game, but what do you think? How was that game or that match one sided?
It was not that one-sided than I expected, but I think the game was pretty dominant when we won, and we had so much confidence. That's why we could like shit talk people the game as well.
Okay, well, I have noticed that there's been a lot more chatter on social media recently, and I know you did this previously, but it feels like there's a lot more with Spica and Alfari and everybody coming out. So why why is it that there's been so much trash talk recently on social media from you guys?
I don't know. It's more fun than not doing it.
Yes. Well, I mean that's a good reason to do it. Okay.
Yeah.
So for the past 3 weeks, it seems like Team Liquid has just had tremendous improvement week after week after week. Obviously, Santorin showed up around that time as well. But what are the major reasons that you guys are seeing these big leaps in performance?
Um, I mean, first of all, we were just good as individual, like every single part in the every single part. The the one could one problem we had is always like make a uh, one team, but we had a long time to do, and then this is not a BO1, so you can just feel free to play more, and then could be it was way easier to be one team.
Well, I mean, along with that time, one thing that we've also noticed, or that fans, I think, and analysts have noticed, is that you seem to be roaming a lot more. I feel like you've been a lot more proactive on the Rift. Is this something that you personally try to do, or does it come along with what you were just saying of like becoming more of a team and playing like a team? I mean, where did this come from?
I mean, was there any year that I didn't roam? I don't
Well,
know.
you've definitely had more of a roaming playstyle recently, I think, than earlier in this year. I know that you've always roamed, but it does feel like you're doing more of it lately.
Yeah, basically, this is secret that I shouldn't reveal too much, but I always trying to uh use trying to use my champion 100%. Recently, we uh you know drafted champion that actually better than roaming.
Okay, gotcha.
So yeah.
Well, so I know you say you're drafting champions that are better at roaming. Is that intentional? Like, I don't know if you got near the playoffs and you're like, oh god, I need to be more proactive on the map. I need to play these champions that are great at roaming and just shift around a lot, or if it's just a thing where you're like, okay, well,
Yeah.
these are the champions and these are what the champions do.
Um, Definitely we tried many champion, and then we chose best fit champion for us. And then more I play the game, uh, those champions is good for us, basically. Yeah, that's the that's the actually conclusion we
Mm,
made,
gotcha.
and we'll abuse it.
The second game was in particular very interesting to watch because I think it was just a situation where the game state was so frequently ending up in these weird situations where like uh, there was so much fighting up top, and then you like everybody's in just lanes that are very unconventional for them or whatever. Was it particularly fun to play that game, or are those games like very chaotic? It just felt like a very unconventional game of League of Legends, even if it was really entertaining to watch.
Um, I don't know, like every single moment we try to, try to calculate what is the best choice for us, and then every time we just choose, when you choose like every decision, like TSM was also pretty extreme, like doing their play, so it looked really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just a situation of like they're doing interesting things and you guys are figuring out what's best, and so you just end up in a strange game, I guess.
Yeah.
There was some criticism as well from folks about TSM's drafting this series, especially in that last game. What did you think of their drafts?
The bottom pick was actually pretty good there, first of all.
What about
And
like Jarvan, for instance, in that last game?
um, I don't know. I don't know what could they pick differently, and then what could play differently. Uh, for us, the how I feel is like we were better players, and then their champion is like pretty annoying. The last game was really stressful too, and I think we played better too. And then we know our draft is good based on our scrim result. So we didn't care too much about their draft, but it was definitely pretty annoying.
Setting aside the draft and setting aside this match, you've because it's the end of the week, you've had the benefit of watching all the other teams play this week. So I'm kind of curious now that we've seen everybody play this week. Do you think Team Liquid is the best team in the league right now?
Um, yeah, I mean, watching every other team and then playing Scrim, I think we can safely say we are the best team in ACS for now, but playoff is not done, and then we'll see. Team will be changed in 2 weeks, like what we did.
Yeah. All right. That's fair. You tweeted before the match. One good thing about playing against TSM is that I can read the TSM subreddit trying to figure out what went wrong after we smashed them. Have you had a chance to read the TSM subreddit yet?
Oh yeah, I didn't lead our Team Liquid subreddit yet, but I definitely led TSM one.
Okay.
But I mean, there was not that spicy one, I think, but it's good thing, right?
Yeah.
There's not many spicy thing. So yeah, I'm enjoying right now.
You said that you would read it to try to figure out what went wrong for TSM. Did you find any of the reasons yet? Did you see anything on there that made you realize, that must have been it?
Um, well, I wanted to find why don't we have a CoreJJ, but I couldn't find that one, so I don't
Ah,
know.
I see. I see. Do you actually at the beginning of this year? I remember that Sword Art was kind of. I think even in an interview that I did with him, there's conversation about him kind of being your rival. And I
Mhm.
remember when he came over, obviously a very big signing for TSM, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, is he coming here to really face off?" You know, you just beat him in the playoffs. There's a chance you could play him again, but since we're now winding down the season, what do you think of Sword Art over the past year?
Um, but definitely has a pretty unique style among the HS support players. It's good to have a um different style of support player, but I mean, I'm enjoying it, but it's too early to say lively.
Yeah. Well, I guess I would
Yeah.
ask, do you feel as
Mhm.
though he has challenged you much throughout this year?
Uh, for now, um, I think probably Huhi and Falcon can challenge me.
Yeah.
I don't, I don't know anyone else yet.
Gotcha. Okay. Uh, who do you think is taking this final world spot? Because you're going to Worlds, so is 100T. So who's the third team?
Um, I want, well, I want to see EG or G9 uh make a world, but I mean because there is impact and then EG. I like all the EG players.
Yeah.
Probably EG. Yeah.
So you said probably EG. So it sounds you're leaning in that direction.
Yeah, I think EG will make world. Yeah.
Gotcha. Is it crazy to think no C9, no TSM at Worlds? I mean, that would be a first ever for North America. I don't know if you think that's
Oh,
crazy.
is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I never
It's never
thought
been a
about it,
time
but
where both of them didn't make it. It's always been at least
mm,
one of those teams. So I don't know if that's wild. But I'm also kind of curious. I think Dash asked this question to Alfari, and I somewhat think it's like a forbidden question these days. But should North American fans start hoping for Worlds yet?
um, I'm not. I can't safely say that we are the best or something, but one thing I can say to our fans and HS fans, whenever I watch other Legends playoffs, I blame them a lot. You know, whenever I watch the other teams play, why they are doing like this, why they are doing like this. You know, we have a shot.
Okay, very good. Well, we'll take that. Anything you want to say to any of the fans, CoreJJ?
Um, Always really thanks for supporting us and Team Niket. I hope everybody's supporting us in World, and then I really want to prove that uh, we are good.
Very good. Well, thank you so much, Court, for the interview. Congratulations on going to Worlds. I'm excited to see you guys play, especially if you can continue to play the way that you guys have for the past couple of weeks. And for everyone else, you can check out the rest of my coverage of all things playoffs and head off to Worlds and right here on my YouTube channel. Well, we now know 2 of the 3 teams that are going to Worlds, which is very exciting. And if you want to know what it feels like to go to Worlds, just unbox a new Alienware product from alienware.com/Travis and use the code in the description below to access that, because it's just this moment of victory, this moment of elation. It shows up, delivery person drops off at your front door, you bring it in, you set it up, and oh my God, you'll imagine what it's like to be standing on the world stage and actually making out a group. So it's what it's like to be a team that goes to Worlds from a different region. Actually, that's the fun thing. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, thank you so much for watching the video, and be sure to subscribe because then you have a chance to have your name roll against the bottom of the screen, which is pretty neat.